Now we've all tried everything to find the best tactic or the perfect players to buy. But what if we take it one step further? What if we use an AI to help us make the best tactics and transfers? Let's find out. Hey everybody, my name is Coach Rohan, and in this video I'll be showing you how I use an AI to make a tactic and transfers in Football Manager 23. I'll take you through the entire process, creating the tactic, buying the players, and looking at the results when simulating one season. Now the ultimate goal is to see if the AI can help us make not just any tactical transfers, but a title-winning setup. To test if we can achieve this, I'll try to win the Premier League with Manchester United in one season. A good enough squad to compete with, but a team who needs a real push to win it all. Of course, we'll need an actual AI to help us. For that, we'll be using ChatGPT, a language model which is free to use for anyone. The AI uses a chat room style prompt where you can ask a nearly infinite amount of questions. For example, help with breaking down a math question, suggestions for pickup lines, or in our case, recommendations for Football Manager. I've put the link to ChatGPT in the description below. We've got our team, we've got our AI, and we've got our challenge. So let's start. Now the first step is to create our tactic. Football Manager gives us a lot of presets to choose from, and we can spend hours working on it ourselves. But we've got our AI to help us out, so let's switch to ChatGPT and get our tactic recommendation. Alright, let's find out what the MASTERMIND AI will recommend to us. Let's first try this. What tactic should I use with Man United in Football Manager 2023? Now it gave us a quite generic advice on how to apply a tactic in FM23, which is good advice, but we want a specific tactic and formation. Let's try something else. Suggest me a tactic and formation to use with Man United in Football Manager 2023. Now that's more like it. Let's summarize what the AI has suggested for us. So the formation is going to be a 4-3-3. In a defensive line, we're going to be mainly focusing on the overlapping fullbacks. In the midfield, we're going to have one midfielder on attack, flanked by two more defensive midfielders. Now the forward line is going to be consisting of one traditional center forward, flanked by two inside forwards. And for the tactical approach, we're going to be focusing on three things: possession-based football, overlapping fullbacks that provide the width, and making runs in behind. Now that's a tactic we can use, so let's implement it. Alright, the tactic is set and the positions are filled with what I think are the best players for this tactic. There are a few positions that need strengthening. Let's switch over to the squad planner to see where we need reinforcements. Now the first position that we might need to strengthen is at right back. I don't necessarily trust Wan-Bissaka with the overlapping fullback role, and we really need two players at that position. Secondly, we need another inside forward on the right. Sancho is a good player, but I want to use him on the left, so we only really have Anthony there. A backup is needed. And finally, we're gonna need a striker. Martial's probably gonna get injured, so a main goal scoring threat is crucial. So to summarize, these are the positions that we're gonna be looking for: a right back, a right-sided inside forward, and a striker. We've got our short list, so let's switch back to the AI to find some transfer recommendations. We're back at ChatGPT, so let's ask for our first recommendation. Which right back should I sign for Manchester United in Football Manager 2023? Unfortunately, the AI can't give us a specific recommendation for a player. However, it does give us some attributes to look at, namely pace, tackling, crossing, and passing. Now for the inside forward on the right, it recommends pace, dribbling, creativity, and finishing. And finally for our striker, it recommends finishing, pace, dribbling, and strength. Now that we've got an idea of which kind of players we should be buying, let's go back to FM and see if we can make some transfers. I'm gonna try and find a couple of players for each position that would match the criteria set by the AI. So for example, for right back, I've set filters for pace, crossing, tackling, and passing. Let me do that for each position and go back to you with a short list of players that I'm gonna target. For the right back position, I've selected three possible players: Touré from Eintracht Frankfurt, Hugo Malo from Celta Vigo, and Bereszynski from Sampdoria. For the inside forward, I'm looking at Marco Asensio, Malcolm from Zenit, or Gonzalo Martinez from Al Nassr. Finally, for the striker position, I'm looking at Thuram from Gladbach, Nemecha from Wolfsburg, or Gabriel Barbosa from Flamengo. Now that we've got our targets, let me try and sign the best of them to complete our team. So it's been a couple of in-game days and there's been a slight change of plans. All my targets for the right forward position have either signed a new contract with their existing team or don't want to join. So a late addition to the shortlist is Jonathan Ikone from Fiorentina. Let's see if he wants to join. Alright, it's been a couple of days, but we've managed to make our signings. For the striker position, we've managed to sign Gabriel Barbosa for 19.5 million. For the right back position, we brought in Berzinski for only 4 million, which is quite a bargain. And finally, we brought in Ikone for the right wing position. A bit of an overpay for 25 million, but he managed to fit the attributes set by the AI and we don't question the AI. And this is how our final setup looks like. Gabriel Barbosa slots in nicely into the center forward position, while Berzinski and Ikone provide some good rotation for the first team. Now that we have everything in place, let's simulate the entire season to find out how the AI-based tactic and transfers perform. We'll be looking at the final position in the table, the goals scored and conceded, and the performances of our players. Let's get to simulating. Now while we're waiting for the season to simulate, if you've enjoyed the video up until this point, please tap that like button. And if you want to see more content like this, you can subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more challenges, experiments and other FM content, so stay tuned. And finally, let me know in the comments down below how you think the AI-based setup will perform. No cheating though, comment your prediction now before watching the results. And with that out of the way, let's see how our team performed. The simulation is done, the die is cast and the results are in. Our AI-based tactics and transfers resulted in us getting fired. So we made it to the beginning of March and we were sitting in 7th when we got the sack. Being 4 points away from European places is just simply not good enough, so I can understand why we're getting fired. If we look at our player performances, we can see that David De Gea, our goalkeeper, was our highest rated player. And if I've learned anything from playing Football Manager all these years, is that if your goalkeeper is your highest rated player, then it's never gonna be a good season. Bruno Fernandes did have quite a decent season with 9 goals and 11 assists, but all in all, it's nothing to write home about. Now if we look at the players that we signed, Gabriel Barbosa actually had quite a decent season. 14 goals and 26 assists in the Premier League? Not bad. The other signings however had less of an impact. Berzinski only had 12 games and none of them starting. And Ikone, 25 million for 8 games and 1 goal? Might go down as one of the worst signings in Man United history. So with the simulation done, we can ask ourselves, is this AI a mastermind in Football Manager tactics and transfers? And no. To be fair, ChatGPT was never designed to play Football Manager, and asking it to give very specific advice on tactics and transfers, yeah, that might be a bit too much. But what I can say is that using an AI like this is just a lot of fun and something different. So if you're looking to try something new with your FM saves, check the description below for the link to ChatGPT and try it out for yourself. Let me know in the comments below how your AI-based FM journey will pan out. If you liked the video, don't forget to tap the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next video.